Yeah. And what do you think are the odds with the wins here?
I think, I mean, the most important part is who's gonna go second.
Is it so?
So
Okay.
yeah, so if Laboon wins Dice Roll game one, then he's chilling.
Okay.
Also depends
Just
a bit on his list. Because if he plays like the 3 cost extract 2k, then he can rest the stuff that Betty plays.
yeah, makes sense. I think talking about win conditions, I think 3 cost extract. I haven't seen it much, to be honest, in these decks yet. But I think it's a very, very card matchup.
Yeah, it's insane in that matchup. I think the card is good in general, just because it's searchable 2k, and then a lot of law players reduce their 2k count because you play more blockers now. So if you have less 2ks in deck, then you want more of them to be searchable. So that's why I'm not sure on which 2ks I'm gonna run yet in my law deck.
Since what is Betty's win condition here? Is it just playing board and killing the 4 life leader as soon as possible?
Yeah, for sure. If you survive as Law, then you start you have infinite cards in hand because you take all your life and then also loop your searchers. And then as soon as you like have 1 or 2 turns where you just establish some blockers and survive, or maybe even Hodi to clear board. Sometimes that works on 0 life, just playing Hodi with 2 blocker on board and clearing the entire board of your opponent. Then you just win. Kid is not that great because Koala exists. Because Koala just makes it a 5k.
Yeah.
And it's a bit slow. 7 cost law obviously is pretty good. If you go heal alive, put 5 cost law, law plays another blocker. So you have a 7 drop, a 5 drop, and a 2 drop blocker.
Yeah, so it's very good that you have some insights in these decks because I'm lacking either of those. I've played some Betty, and it felt very powerful, like you said when you go second. Like it feels really good. But I have not touched green yellow law whatsoever.
Yeah, it's the most fun deck ever.
I can't believe that. Yeah, it's just bounce like a bunch of stuff and
Yeah,
then
bounce shit, play stuff
search
from
and
life.
whatnot.
It's BY and Bonnie, but cool.
So two of the most boring decks in cool. Okay, it's cool. Yeah, maybe it's like evening
That's a
out.
crazy call. It's one of the most fun decks and Bonnie.
Did you say BY Luffy and Bonnie?
Yeah, and BY
I've
is
never
fun.
heard of two like worst deck in the fucking meta. It's like these are the least fun decks I've
Uh,
ever seen. Maybe put
can
Teach up there too.
cancel the other caster.
I know what I'm talking about. Holy, I played some BYs in my time. No, but it's it's definitely a matchup you don't see every day. I mean, now with OP11,
It's gonna be more
uh
popular.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be more popular, especially Bella Betty. Green Yellow we saw like a little bit on the rise the last few weeks. But in I think Asia, it hasn't really done anything too much yet.
Law?
Yeah.
It was a bit more popular in OP11 than OP10 in Asia as well, but yeah, the new starter the cards are what makes it a lot better.
Which one particularly?
Kid and Killer, because you have more consistency. Before in OP10, like I started playing more Pizza, the Bonnie like
Yeah.
Supernova search event, because your deck without 1 cost Luffy, you're just not a deck. You just don't play the game.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you have no more searcher for that now. And Beige protecting your board, like pseudo protecting your board is insane. Because you
Yeah,
don't
but
rely on an unsearchable Tashigi anymore. You have a 2 drop blocker that does the same, and it's searchable.
yeah, but she feels really, really strong. I saw some Lucci like on the weekend, like I think it was last weekend. That tried to kill like two characters with Lucci. While Badge was on board, but they just got healed basically, and the law in the end was like on 5 life or something. It was super strong. Do you think we can see any tech cards in this deck? Like which ones would be like a one or two of in law that are maybe not seen in every deck?
Uh, yeah, most lists are pretty similar. So I think most lists just have different ratios in terms of like Holy and stuff. I personally like the 2 drop blocker beige that's in the starter deck. The one that if you have 6 rested cards, you draw one, discard one. Because I think if you're reducing your 2Ks, I think just running more blockers is better than adding more 2Ks. So I like this card a lot. and then you have 6 blocker beiges for some reason. All of the beige cards printed are always pretty strong. But yeah, besides that, it's just usually just do you play 3 OD, 4 OD? If you play less than 4 OD, you're trolling, to be honest.
Makes
And
sense.
then the restand law ratios are also some play none, some play 1, some play 2. But other than that, most lists do look fairly similar. I think that's the same for like Bello Betty. I think Bello Betty are usually just do you play stage or not, and then if you play stage, how many stage do you play? And then a few cards like Dragon. Some play Dragon, some don't. But I think in if like Buggy becomes more prevalent, then you probably play Dragon.
Yeah, makes sense. I think Betty lists are all kind of the same, or at
Yeah.
least the ones I saw yet. Um, and now we're already in the game, but what do you think? Who won? You already said like right. Betty wants to go second, so I think Betty won the dice roll here because
Yeah,
she's
Betty
going
won the
second.
dice roll, but you had no one drops, which is insanely bad. No stage, but no one drops because usually
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
best case you have 2 one drops and then you have 2 4 drops for the next turn.
Like Inazuma, Karazu, and Ivankov.
Ooh,
But we have
you
we
hit
have
like
the best trigger. Yeah,
the only trigger left that you could play here because the other triggers are based on life. So if you the combined life is 5.
so first swing into Betty's life is usually pretty free because the percentage of triggers is like 4 in like 50 cards.
Yeah,
But now like him hitting this trigger is incredibly
it's
crazy. Like
insane.
it's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good for him.
It is insane.
And
And it gets rid of Luffy without having to swing at it, too.
it's the question: does it? Because you might not use the secondary effect here, right? If you don't have like a Ivankov Karazu kind of
Yeah, if you don't, then you
play,
don't. Yeah, then
yeah,
you probably just swing leader at it. But given that that's your best play, playing Ivankov into Karasu, then you would use leader ability.
makes sense.
He's pretty
All
low on cards already then, because he did pitched one for Lindbergh and then pitched one for leader now, if he
yeah,
does it. But I don't like swinging too much, especially if there's no 2 one drops. Like you basically you only have to survive. You don't have to win the game in an instant. So if you don't swing and there's no one drops on the board, you're chilling.
yeah, great. All the other triggers were like if you have a total of like 5 life or something, right?
Yeah,
So
5 combined life.
yeah,
Yeah.
the first 2 life you basically always take as Betty, I would say, if the other person has some rested characters or like something else. But he uses the effect here, so he has a Karazo. Uses the effect to pop the Luffy and swing at life twice. I think it's a fairly good play because you can like get maybe
The
2 life. It's a 4K leader, so
I
maybe he
think the
has to.
order is interesting that he
The
swung
order is a bit weird. That's
8
true.
no, yeah, 8K and then 6.
I think yeah, obviously we always swing 5 first and then
Yeah, 5 and then not
the
6.
8K. But maybe he was
Pitched
scared of
1K,
some
but
triggers.
he has to
Do we
pitch a
know if
2K.
Laboon
Yeah.
plays any triggers?
No. Promo law is not released yet, and there's no other triggers in the deck. Because even like cards like the 4-cost event that destroys something that doesn't KO stuff.
Yeah. Since
But you wouldn't play that anyways.
yeah, I think we thought about like any triggers last time we saw Green Yellow Law, but like yeah, it's probably just not happening. He swings 7 into the character. Betty lets it go. Probably costs too much resources here. Uh, don't need to defend that. Cavendish on board already really good. Without the character, without the Lindbergh on board, it is probably not going to go anywhere.
You're still in a pretty fine position here because there was no one drops, no Ivankov, and then then the trigger didn't matter as much.
It's like searches on board and a bunch of like 5K swings next turn. That might be a bit more problematic. But other than that, yeah, probably not too bad right now.
Plays Koala. Only has 2 cards in hand, I think. Yeah, maybe 3. 3 cards in hand. Does he play Koala without the effect?
Uh, that would not work, right? Like I mean, you could do it obviously, but you always try to use it with effect, right? Is he thinking about the effect right now?
Yeah, prolonging the game is not what Betty wants to do. So yeah, you definitely use the effect. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great start. You got to go second, but you had no one drops, and if your opponent didn't swing, it wouldn't even have like an extra body to swing. Only your leader. Because usually, if you have Karaza and if you one drops, you can swing 5/5/5 on 1 and 4K leader, which is an insane 2K check.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm still interested in is he thinking about what he's gonna play, or yeah, it looks like it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You can play a 4 drop and then he draws a card. But he
Then
has
did
to
he
play
take his
the.
life already?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
He
okay.
has.
So he is definitely gonna use the effect.
Yes. But he has to
Yeah,
play a 4 drop or lower to draw the
that's
cards.
fine. That's totally fine play, right? He can just
Yeah.
yeah, he draws a card, and then he uses lead effect, has a 8 and a 7K swing on board. Leader goes to 4. That's totally fine.
Yes.
Can swing 3 times, check for a 2K, and then 7/8. So he's probably gonna get 2 life from Law right now. And Law's gonna go to what, 7th on next turn, so gonna be a bit tricky.
Yeah, no 1 drops on board, but Cavendish. Best play would be next turn to play a bunch of 1 drops and then restand it on before playing Law, so you can play 7 cost Law. Otherwise, you would have to bounce your Cavendish. Okay, it looks like
Think about
he gives
countering the
him.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have no 2Ks and stuff, you gotta
What
counter
did he
one of
throw
them.
away? Did he throw away 2 1Ks?
Yeah, 2 1Ks, Bayesian Bonnie.
But didn't he swing 8? Oh no, it
No,
was
it
the
was
5 liter
yeah,
swing.
it was
Okay,
the
yeah,
5
yeah.
liter thing
Okay,
after Karaza. Yeah.
I missed the 8K. So he definitely took it to life, and then the 2K check he missed dramatically. No 2Ks in hand. That helps a lot, and Betty has a good board
I mean, you
right
get to
now.
clear 2 of the bodies probably. I
Do
mean,
you?
maybe.
I think
I mean,
might not, right? Like I think there might be one.
you likely
Maybe
have
killed one.
to. You likely have 2 6K swings. So if you do 2 6K swings into Inazuma, then one of them probably connects, but the other one could be blocked and 1K from Koala, which is pretty strong.
We see the new Kid Killer for the
Yeah,
search.
Kick Killer is not ideal. Best case, you had 2 1 drops because you need to bounce one back for leader ability. And then if you wanted to play Law into like another blocker, then you can't. You can only play Law, the 5 drop
What's
Law.
7 cost law?
7 cost Law is the 7/9 that puts the Supernova into
Yeah,
life.
is that good right now in this situation?
Yeah, probably because it's the only way to cheat a body without losing life.
So we didn't see that though. Maybe we are gonna see it still
Yeah, because
because we are back
you
to
can
7.
restand. Yeah, you can
But he
restand.
searched the 2K right now. Very important for his hand, in
Because you
which we saw.
definitely can't take life right now. So 7 cost loss is the best option. Because otherwise you're just doing something slower.
Maybe some blockers too, like some smaller blockers. He instantly blocks and gives him a 1K. I like it. He plays the Betty, the draw 1 Betty, basically. It's a really, really nice play. If you played with Koala, for example, and you want to play a little bit of a slower game, you just draw a bunch of cards and then build board. Really
Yeah.
strong. I like that. That's the 7 cost long. Yeah, I was talking about exactly. So probably the best card he could play here right now. 2 life, putting life.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he puts a blocker law to life, so you can bounce some stuff. Play maybe a second blocker. That looks
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's the problem. That one he can't unless he bounces Cavendish Stand because he has to bounce the Kid Killer for leader ability. That's why I said if he played 2 1 drops instead of the Kid Killer, that would be ideal because then you bounce one for leader and bounce one for law. But now you have to bounce one for the leader and then you would have to bounce Cavendish if you wanted to play a second blocker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But probably still fine. It's probably still better than leaving Cavendish on the board.
Yeah, and it's a no. Yeah, Betty's not gonna swing into characters anyway, so probably still fine.
You lose the swinger, but you survive.
I think Betty's.
And
Yeah, keep going.
yeah, if you survive then the next turn and maybe even have Holy and stuff, then you probably just win because you clear the entire board and block up.
Yeah, makes sense. I think Betty is thinking about countering out, but lets Inazuma go in the end. Uh, so now we see the law effect. He's gonna bounce the Kid Killer, play out the law. Bounces. Is there a reason to bounce the 7 cost just to heal next turn again?
I think you need a buddy to be able to. Do you need a buddy? I mean, technically you could bounce it, but you could bounce it next turn. So you could swing and then bounce it next turn and just heal and not play a buddy.
Ooh,
Oh, that's risky.
that's really that's
That's
greedy.
risky. That's really risky.
He's killing he's taking his life, exactly. He's not gonna kill
Yeah.
it. Yeah. He's taking his life, killing the Karazu, making it's a risky play. We saw that he doesn't have too many 2Ks, right? He took one 2K last turn, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you could just die. No.
yeah, he could just die right now.
There's
So
one
and
blocker, no life.
I feel like Betty is pretty safe though, not to swing here and play safe. Maybe
Mm. Yeah,
just
maybe, but
swing once
what's
big
the
or
swing?
something. Play another
Like
big body.
if you just pitch a card, then the koala's already 9k.
True.
So
What
the
is it gonna be
two
then?
the two swings are pretty large. You have how much don you have? 8 don. So you
8.
have 4 don to match the 4
Yeah,
don on
and then
Betty
2
Leader
2.
to match koala.
11.
Yeah, so it's 11-11.
Is that enough? What do we think? This
We
3
know
2Ks?
Zeus. No, we played Zeus. We know Beige in hand, and we knew before Beige we didn't have a 2k. So unless there was a 2k in live or top deck, then we only know one 2k and the Cavendish.
Zeus play is still better though, than keeping it in hand. I think. Is it? I think it is, right?
No, the Karazu. If Karazu swings and takes and you take the life, then you have one life as well, but Zeus in hand. And the next turn you clear the entire board anyways. So I think this is just risky for no reason.
You're right, yeah. And you make the Betty go for game, basically. Betty's thinking about it. Maybe he's thinking about swinging 10. If it gets blocked, I like it actually. If it gets blocked, he's gonna go for game for 12, right? If it doesn't
Yeah.
get blocked, he just plays a 3-cost blocker. And I really like that play, yeah. Feels really strong.
Yeah, it's better than starting with leader and committing to the leaf.
Yeah, really nice. Well thought through. And we are seeing 2K, 1K, 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 1. Is it a 1K? The last?
Yeah, it's one case.
Okay, so that was everything. What if he swung 11? It feels like he didn't have it.
There's still 2 cards, so maybe
There's
it
still 2
wasn't
cards in
enough.
hand, though. So yeah, we don't know.
But you
these
could play
cards.
the rush card and leader.
Does Law play a lot of bricks? Oh, maybe there's gonna be
11.
Zeus from him.
I don't know his list, but usually it's 11 or 12, depending on some of the ratios. But
Betty's play a bunch of Zeus, right?
oh yeah,
As well?
true, they do.
I
But
was
then you
just
would have
thinking. Yeah.
just lost and leadered and just went, I don't know,
True. I
a
didn't think about that.
gazillion.
But
A
he just played the
gazillion.
other 2K.
There's a good reason Laboon didn't think about it either.
So yeah.
It's a new card, so you forget. Even if you run it yourself, you sometimes forget your opponent can run it too. But yeah, every yellow deck just runs it now.
It's true. It's such a good card, and that's the problem with like not having sim practice as well, because the sim didn't update yet. It's like I'm not thinking. I haven't played enough, so I'm not thinking about all these cards that came new to the game.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. We see another law. It looks like. Oh no, it's just Howdy. Okay, we just go for game here. That's fair enough. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be like a 6, 7, an 8, 9. Just a ladder finish. Why are we going for bot?
That's a good question. Yes, 2 cards in hand. And we have 4 swings. We only need to connect 3. So if you start 7 and he counters, he loses. Unless he has a trigger.
Yeah, fair enough. He has one more draw basically to find some lethal opportunity, and like I said, I think it might be either Zeus or Inazuma, right? So there's basically, if you think about the searches, there's like a total card count of what, like 4, 5, 6, 7, and then maybe the searches for Inazuma. There's like 11 targets he could hit on his next draw.
Okay, gives him.
But is he countering out?
Yeah, he gave him a card for it. Okay, that's risky because now you just swing live. I think.
Yeah,
Like,
of
you know,
course.
he still doesn't. And I'm not sure if I would have started Holy. Maybe I would have started like 6 or something at live, and then if your opponent takes it, because you then don't run into like Karazu blocker on the next live.
I'm flabbergasted by this whole like ordeal here right now.
I mean, I guess if he still has.
He can bounce back the Zeus, right?
You can still bounce a card, yeah, and then maybe he has another. Oh no, yeah, he spent all his down. Yeah, he just doesn't expect Zeus. He
So
just
it's
prays.
still nice to get 2k back, but I mean, in every situation that Betty can win, basically, it
But
doesn't
you also
matter if
died to
there's.
you died to Dragon, you died to the Inazuma, you died to
Yes, so many
Zeus, you
cards.
died to. I guess you don't even die to like stuff like Race Max into the Kuma. Oh no, not exactly. I think Kuma pops the two and
Do
Race
you
Max.
just do you just lose if Betty has like two 2Ks in hand and just goes 10 here? Or like not 10, like I mean like go all in like 15 and then has two 2Ks in hand? He still
Yeah,
loses turn, right?
that's also a possibility. Yeah.
Like 3 swings, all to 9. Okay, maybe not, I
But
guess.
if Betty doesn't establish a body, then best case you could still uh, bounce your own law and heal, or
Law
you bounce
still
your
only.
Hoodie.
No, you have to block with the law. Ah, no, the
The
7
the
cost law.
seven
Yeah,
cost
yeah,
law,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're right, you're
But
right.
you could also to just increase your amount of swings. If you Betty like if you swing 7 and Betty counters, then you swing 8 and then you bounce the Hoodie and swing 8 again. So you have extra swings. So you can always bounce Hoodie and get an extra swing.
You're right. That's such a cool mechanic. You can just go 8, bounce Hody, go 8 again. That's so strong.
Because it's a lot better than swinging tall against the
Never thought about
cards in
that.
hand.
That's so cool.
Because if you counters like an early 7 to try to survive, then you just have an extra swing for free.
Wait, Law might actually be a good deck.
That's crazy. You're rage baiting.
Woodköder in Germany.
Woodcutter, ja. You're woodcuttering me. He's
Um,
just all-ins.
yeah, and at least one don't open. Maybe it's like some sort of event he's baiting, but yeah, no, he's not. No one, everyone knows Betty's not running any events, so please, just go in. So he blocks. And then I think you're right. We just play the law, attack with the law. We don't even have to attack. We just heal with the law, right?
Yeah, and you don't die to Karazo and stuff. If you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can, I mean I would just swing 7 first, I think.
Yeah,
Just
we just swing 7. If he takes it, we go
yeah.
for game. Just
Yeah,
like
and
with
then I would
bouncing
8.
Hody as well, like you said.
Yeah. If
And if
there's a
he,
Karazo block and stuff, you bounce Sodi, rest the blocker.
exactly, exactly. If it's in last life, we just cry.
And then
Um,
if no,
but it's
it's
okay.
whatever. You swing 7, 8, 9, and then if it's last life, you just bounce the hood again and sing again.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You just wait until because you have one don left. So after the 8 from Hodi, if you swing 7 first, then you swing 9 with Law, and then bounce Hodi, swing 9 again because you have one don left.
This is so good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Because if you counters this no, then it's just 8, 9 and see what happens.
I appreciate that we had two like rather fast decks.
Yeah, and it's now it's 8, 9.
Yeah, let's just go 8. What if no? Even double blocker doesn't help, right? Nothing helps.
No, nothing. I guess double block helps because you could block the Law swing now.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the last, yeah, if you, yeah, okay, double
He
blocker would
does
be the only
exactly
thing.
this.
Yeah,
And then you have 9, so two Ks are not enough.
that's so good. Wow, crazy. Well done. What is that left card?
He had another one, but flexed on him.
All right, first game takes green yellow law in a very stylish fashion. I haven't seen yet. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Man.
I thought the deck was boring.
No, the deck is insanely fun.
Hmm. Not sure yet.
You're rage baiting.
Maybe
Wood
Kobe is
girdering.
better. Maybe Kobe is more fun.
There's no way.
Hmm.
Do you hate winning? I guess you do. Maybe, yeah.
I kind of do. I kind of do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I was playing like decks. The only time I actually tried locking in was I played like the best deck in the format. It was like Fluffy.
Nah, Fluffy was not the best deck in the format.
Fluffy was the best deck in the format because everyone was playing black yellow, right? Like I was just farming black yellows. It's crazy.
That's
Like
true. That's why I
it's
played Nami.
insane.
Because
Yeah, we're just
I was
farming.
farming black yellows.
And Namis I was farming too.
Yeah, but I would farm you.
El Caro can tell you a story about it. That guy, my god.
Yeah, your girlfriend goes crazy on you. Okay, but now you can choose to go second again. Maybe we will see a faster start.
Yeah, exactly. Wait. Oh, green yellow was first too. Okay. Yeah, we had a bad start from Betty, so that's
Yeah.
fair.
I voted for Kobe. Don't want to see this low crap. That's crazy. Someone time out him. That's toxic.
Is that what we mean? Yeah. Rosa, I am absolutely the same opinion. There you go. Okay. Jack is also woodcuttering me. I can't do this. I'm not having chat open in the back. I don't. I just don't have chat open. I just looked at the stream.
Nah.
I'm like trying
Yeah,
to be
but sometimes
professional at casting here, guys.
sometimes it's better, especially if Moss is in the chat, then you should close
Okay.
the chat. Okay, maybe you have 2 one-drops now. 1144, that's the deck.
Okay, wait, let me pop out the chat and put it on the left side of my screen.
Is there 2 drops in this? Yeah, the Betty is a 2-drop, right? But you'd only draw if you have 2 or less life? Okay, you just play Koala, yeah. It's not the worst, but not the best. That Koala has to swing at the Bonnie, probably. So, it's not a real body right now.
Yeah, it's not a real body, definitely not. I think if you open, wait, did go wait green yellow? No, okay, never mind. I'm stupid. Never mind. Okay, take it back. I thought green yellow lost first game. I'm stupid. That's why I was like, why would he go first again? It's like no, okay, never mind.
Law can't lose.
Yo, you are at the perfect place to learn something. These are two extremely good players, and we can learn so much from this matchup. Like, I'm learning new tech right now. I learned that you can restand Hody, basically. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, first game was pretty educational. No,
Actually.
let's wait. Let's wait for Moss to enter the chat so it stops. Yeah, but this is a lot better start too. Not having to swing 5-5. I mean, I would have never swung 5-5 in the first place last game because losing your Luffy is pretty bad. Okay, he learned of his mistake. He didn't swing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a mistake. I think we talked about it. You can swing the first life, and you should always swing the first life just to make it easier to go for game in the late game, right? I think not swinging here is actually a misplay.
I'm not sure. I think it's fine either way. It's just unlucky from the last game, so I guess he just got scared of it. But I like not swinging.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. But that's totally fine. I think you're wrong in like playing
Nah, that's
like bad
crazy.
decks as well. So don't
That's
worry.
crazy. That's crazy. I'm getting flamed by the Kagura player.
Okay.
Now, as low, I don't swing. As Rage, for example, I would swing. As most decks, I would swing. But as low, I'm just chilling. Every swing that I don't have to take, I can use leader ability.
um. Okay. Yeah. What is Betty gonna do? He's just gonna play like a 4 cost, summon another 4 cost, and then chill, right? Like you just gotta swing 5 life or something.
Yeah, that's Ivankov. So he just
No, he's
leader.
not gonna use lead effect here, does he? I mean, fair, I guess.
Yeah, he
No.
wants to play another body. Koala having to swing into the Bonnie is kind of annoying. I guess you didn't even need to. You could have just went 5 with leader at the Bonnie and then 6 with Koala at life. Yeah, it would have been much better.
I think ignoring the Bonnie here is actually fine, right?
Yeah, for a deck like Betty, it's fine. Especially if your
Yeah.
opponent has, like on 5 down, you're not gonna. I mean, you could use the effect, but you want a beige because there's nothing in life. So you want a leader and beige, so that's all your 5 down, anyways. So you wouldn't use it right now. And then now that you played Lindbergh, you could have popped it next turn.
That's what I was thinking. I think especially
Yeah,
if you play Lindbergh, you can just ignore it,
yeah,
right? Because then you don't have to worry about next turn either.
yeah.
Now it's fine because you might be able to kill the Cavendish here, right? That would be really strong for him.
If he has raise max, yeah. But yeah,
Exactly.
that's strong. That turn is very strong. Now he leaders and has 2 cards to pick up, so you can play low and the blocker. Best case beige.
Yeah,
If he plays beige now and the blocker beige, then he can't pop Cavendish. I mean,
but
he
you can
could
pop
put
the
it to
badge,
life. Yeah,
so
that one
that's
you can
fine.
pop for free.
That's totally fine. Yeah. But does
Maybe you don't even play around that then. Don't play beige
yeah,
because you
maybe not.
don't. Yeah.
Just another searcher, maybe. Oh,
Oh, or
oh,
this.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Is it?
now yeah, I think now you can justify doing that. You still have 2 life. You have a block on board. You pop
Do
your
does
opponents
does
by.
Betty still play Race Max? By the way, I don't think they do. I looked at quite a few Betty lists, and I don't think they actually play Race Max anymore.
Some do, some don't.
I think only the stupid ones do.
Okay, what if
Okay,
he has it in deck now?
it's not joking. No, it's like it's a non-counter, and I mean it doesn't really do much in the most matchups, right? It's
You
a card
just
that
want it
doesn't
as
recycle
a
itself.
you just want it as a one drop. That's like the main reason you play it.
Agree. That's okay. Still really good turn here from green yellow law. But Betty has 4 life. See, that's what I mean. Betty feels really safe in this situation, especially now that Law took some life. It's really, really annoying to swing into Betty because if he takes the first life and it's a trigger, it's not going to look good. But if you swung last time and it was a trigger, it's totally fine because he just has to take the trigger in hand, right?
Yeah, I mean both. I think there's good reason for doing both. Not singing and swinging, both is fine. Also depends a bit on hand. Maybe if, like last game, he had no 2Ks in hand, so then I definitely wouldn't swing probably. Just not risking it. Now that if he has 2Ks, then you could be more confident in swinging. But there was also Koala on board. So if there's Koala plus Karazu and the body from life, then you just lost the game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's rough. That's why 4 life is. Oh no.
But yeah, but you're gonna have a hard time finishing the game at some point if you don't swing. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Jack, I think this is the same thing as if you say Rage is an actual deck to play. We all know that's just a lie, right? So yeah,
That's so
maybe
crazy. That's how many regional wins does Calgary have?
I'm not sure. Not none, I guess.
Yeah, see?
Rage?
Yeah, one.
Really?
Yeah, at Barcelona.
Oh wow, that was a fluke.
That was kind of fake, to be honest. His top 16 opponent just left.
That's crazy. Okay.
To be honest, she would have never won a best of 3 against Teach.
Yeah, exactly. Was the teach thing? Yeah, I remember. I
Yeah.
remember. It's crazy. Yeah. This is a bit scary though. Because now we have 3 rather big swings, and maybe potential third body coming down after these 2 big
I'd
swings.
be down to block 2K this and just take the other
Block
two,
2K.
worst
And if
case.
the other one goes into the character, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter anyways,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a
Yeah, for sure.
saved life. Yeah, totally agree. So block 2K is really nice. Yeah, 2K 1K kind of feels wasted here. You're right. Because it's gonna be 7K anyways.
I could still block 2K,
Yeah, now it should be fine.
but you didn't know what was gonna happen before.
It's the old Borsalino problem. That's why you always blocked 2K when you had Borsalino on board as Gecko Moria, because it was fine for you to
Okay,
your
that's
opponent to swing
that's
into
that's
it.
crazy though. Does he
Yeah,
really
it's
need? I mean, maybe he wants the law to clear board, but
probably not though. I
he
mean,
has
he has
this leader
enough
and
bodies on board.
Cavendish. Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
yeah,
leader and
totally fine.
Cavendish.
And Betty doesn't have that many cards in hand anymore, so it
Yeah.
should all go fine.
Worst case, you could even swing Zeus into the
Yeah,
Inazuma.
exactly. What is this deadline again?
The Zeus is 2 and K, and the Inazuma is 4. Okay,
Okay.
never mind. There's no Zeus on the board anymore.
Yeah, this is gone.
But there's only one card in his hand in that case.
Zeus, more like choose.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
hope
but
for
what is
everyone that does not understand German.
yeah, look what I do here. No. Because swinging live is also awkward, right?
Yeah, you want to clear the board first, yeah.
Yeah. And then again, but Betty has so many lives, he's already getting bored, right? You see, with this many lives, you don't have to worry about a thing. You just take it. That doesn't matter. The only problem is going to come down is maybe when the 7 cost law comes down, starts healing the leader.
I think the main punish for not swinging is Koala. Because Koala also comes down pretty easily in that case.
Great.
Because
Yeah.
last game Koala put him on 2 life, which meant he died to restanding Holy. Now that wouldn't happen.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
I
No,
think
we
that's
saw
the
another blocker law is really, really good here, especially with 2 searches on board, right?
yeah. The way he plays his turn looks like he still plays the 7 cost, and then 7 cost laws now is completely insane.
Feels like it's over afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, because you get to play
And he gets bored. Yeah.
7 cost law into 5 cost law, and then you have one more 1-drop to bounce to play or something else. But I guess he doesn't play it.
Maybe he
right now.
swings 7 into the Inazuma too. That would be fair. So he gets a free clear.
Yeah, but 2 6Ks I think is fine too.
Then you don't have to rest your blocker law, right?
Yeah, but you play a new one if you play 7 cost law. And then maybe
Sure.
you even play a second one. But
And he goes
yeah,
7. So, yeah, I mean, it totally. I mean, yeah, I'm not playing green yellow law, but I think it's fine. This is the first play that came to my mind as well. Leave the other character standing as well, just so you have a little bit more.
yeah,
On
but
board.
if he had, I mean, I guess he maybe just doesn't have the 7 cost law in hand. But if he plays 7 cost law in this spot, he
Like it, right?
yeah he has 7 cost law, 5 cost law, and then he can still play beige or something else. And then
Yeah.
and then you swing at the first 6 at Inazuma at the Ivankov. So your opponent has to have a 2K. And then if
Yeah.
that doesn't connect, then you swing the law. And you
feel
still
like
have 2 standing blocker.
Yeah, I feel like this is better for us. Just so this game is a bit more close than it actually could be. But he has the 7 cost law now in hand. And
Yeah.
Imagine Life's another 2k in life.
The next turn you could just heal and not play anything from life.
It's not looking great. Not looking great for Betty here, even though he still has 4 life. That could be potential all triggers.
And that's when Hodi is broken. You swing, and then if there's a trigger, you rest the trigger and then kill the trigger. And he has insane
True.
setup with both of the laws.
Yeah, you can just swing like the yeah, you can just swing the leader and then the 6k Cavendish and whatnot, and then can just leave the blockers active. If he needs them to swing, that's totally fine. If he doesn't need them to swing, he can just leave them and be super safe.
Yeah. And then if after the law and the Cavendish swing, your opponent doesn't really have a threat on the board, you just 7 law and heal and pass and not play anything from leader. And you're back to 2 life, maybe 1 life if he takes this one now.
It's the line of play for Betsy here. Probably just establish board and then not
Yeah.
do anything. Like just swing live at leader or something. And then establish board.
Okay, just shows him all the searches.
Just shows him his whole hand. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I took
Yeah,
this.
those were
Okay.
all searches from before, even the
Wait,
law.
what did he take with the first search? Was which
Restand.
character?
He has restand law from earlier.
Oh wow, it's also really strong. Okay, he starts with an 8, probably at Cavendish, I would think.
No,
Oh,
I
he
think
goes
it's
live.
at
Okay,
live. I think
I mean fair enough. Yeah,
you don't have the time to do that. I think if at Cavendish, I would just let it die.
it's rough. It's really rough.
Could
So
still
maybe
play.
yeah,
Oh no, he has 8 on. You couldn't play Koala.
maybe it was the correct choice. But this is a really good card in this situation. Right? Oh no,
It
your
doesn't
life
draw.
is not 3, right?
I think it's 2 actually. Even worse.
Oh, okay, so it's not great then. You have a 2k body and a 4k body on board. It's not great.
Yeah, I mean they're basically 5 and 7, but could be better.
Yeah, true, true. It could be
Yeah,
way
now
better. Double
yeah
chaos on
now
board.
now Hodi is insane.
Yes, agreed. Hody into clear board into win
You even
next
play
turn, I
Hodi and
suppose.
another 2 cost blocker.
Yeah. Oh, we just play Kid.
Yeah, that's also great.
Even
You
Koala is not great here then either. Because he only has 1 card in hand.
Yeah, if your opponent plays Koala, then you're basically defending your life because both are 5K, so that's fine too. But you establish a big body.
But he swings into life here. To restand the dot. I guess he has to. But he plays it out, but he can't draw. It could work. Yeah, because the on play
Yeah.
doesn't trigger. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's still I think it's 2 life, but there might be a your turn on play on that card too. I'm not sure. Like Carmel. Okay, finds another 2K. So we know the 2K from life and this 2K. And then he bounces. Couldn't he have just bounced the guy back? Or did he already do that? Maybe I
I think he
missed it.
bounced something already.
Okay, then I might have missed
I
it.
think there
Oh,
was a
yeah,
wound cost search on board, right?
yeah, true. You bounced it at the beginning of the turn. But yeah, even Koala now probably doesn't get there because Kid is basically a blocker. If you don't want to defend Kid, then you
Oh,
just let it die.
it's such a crazy board.
Yeah, next turn's game.
for sure. What are you gonna realistically do? Play
Loslassen.
loslassen, probably. Probably the best option here. You play like a Kuma on the 2-cost block. Play a Koala, swing into the kit, clear the kit or the blockers. And then like hope for like double trigger, Hody not in hand, something like that.
Yeah, there some miracles have to happen with the 3
Exactly.
cards in hand.
Some
Has
perfect
to.
play lines.
Yeah.
But I believe that might not be possible.
It doesn't even look like he has Koala. I think if he had Koala, you would just slam it down.
Yeah, okay, it looks like he just wants to like force it.
It's another one of those Bello Bettys.
Okay, René, I think
Okay, ja. Deutsche Sprache hat übernommen.
heißt also, wie lange müssen wir jetzt auf Deutsch casten?
Ich glaube, es ist 1 Minute.
Okay, 1 Minute. Stellst du einen Tag? Machen wir einfach bis 2020, das passt am besten.
Ja, machen wir bis 20.
Okay,
Aber es ist halt einfach
aber
jetzt die Hälfte der Viewer, hat keine Ahnung mehr, worüber wir reden, ne?
das ist absolut fein. Ich
Lass einfach
meine,
nicht über das Game reden, das wissen die eh
nee,
nicht. Wir
wollte grad
lesen deine
sagen.
CS-Majors.
Nee, also ziemlich gut. Ich kann eigentlich mal kurz checken. Das ist auch gar kein Problem. Weil Face Clan, okay, ne, ne, aber ich glaube, das Game ist eh ziemlich over. Er versucht es ja
Ja, ja,
gerade
also kommt jetzt
zu
versucht mit
hardforcen.
8K-Swings oder was auch immer das ist, mit irgendwie 9K-Swings noch irgendwie da durchzukommen. Aber Worst Case gibst du halt einfach Blocker B schon irgendeinen Law ab und hast unendlich
Swings für
Swings.
Game nächste Runde.
Der hat auch noch Restand Law in der Hand. Boah, ich
Ja,
finde, also jetzt ist fast Overkill, aber es gibt eine richtig interessante Leaf-Line, die du jetzt machen kannst mit Restand Law. Die ich erstmal auf Deutsch erkläre, damit niemand weiß, was geht. Du attachst 2 Don an Law, swingst Law, Character, dann bounce du den mit Leader, dadurch kriegst du 2 Rested Don, dann swingst du Cavendish, kriegst Restandest die 2 Rested Don, spielst du 5 Don einen Restand Law, Restand ist Cavendish, Restand ist nochmal 2 Don. Dann hast du quasi unendlich Swings und du hast
das
4 Don
ist
gecheatet.
das hört sich wild an, ja. Das ist
Du
auf
hast
jeden
4 Don
Fall
gecheatet und den Restand Law hast du für 3 gespielt, aber solange du Minimum 3 Don in den Cavendish attached, war der free. Das heißt, du hast 14 Don Lethal.
hat 'nen Searcher auf der Hand. Warum winkt er damit so in die Kamera?
Weil er den nie auf Turn 1 hatte. Wahrscheinlich wird er sich
Ja,
drüber auf.
okay. Ist richtig. Okay,
Okay, now we're back to English and you missed my explanation on how to go for lethal with
that
Law.
was crazy. Actually, I learned a lot from this explanation. Pretty good.
You have
You
14
guys
Don
should.
on your lethal turn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You,
Actually,
you
never
should
thought about
watch.
that.
Yeah, you should learn German and then figure out how to go for
Exactly.
lethal
You
with
got
Law.
this, Chad. We believe in you.
Yeah. You got this.
But we have the second game concluded. It was pretty fast today.
Yeah, Belobetti wins and loses pretty fast.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's good to commentate, good to watch because you still like get the whole gameplay. Like you still see all the lines and whatnot, but it's just a very quick. It's just very quick games. Like it's good to watch. It's definitely some nice entertainment.